Hey Team Brantford, this is Steve Babcock, Manager of Corporate Initiatives, and welcome to another edition of the Brantford Sessions. This is the second episode featuring Sara Monroe from Tourism Brantford. And in this episode, Sara and I are discussing how Tourism Brantford has tackled COVID head on and responded to the changing needs across their industry. So have a listen.
Let's switch gears a bit and talk about COVID. I'm interested just to learn about how, COVID has obviously changed the world dramatically. It changes the way we think and the way that we behave. What's been the impact on your group in tourism?
Uh, well, the biggest shift has become who we've been marketing to. So uh, you hear a lot of comments about how tourism has stopped. It absolutely has not. It's just become a little bit different, and that legacy will probably stand for a little bit further. Um, we're in a difficult position where we have competing needs, so it's difficult for us to juggle the interests of our community that needs external investment with our responsibility to contribute to keeping people safe. So we had to pivot really quickly. We had kind of two different strands of campaigns that we were working on, and they always changed depending on what tier we were at within the restrictions. So
Mhm.
we were able to do some regional marketing campaigns, which were great, but those always focused on physically distancing friendly activities. So paddling, trails, any kind of like river access, outdoor cycling activity, those are what were our bread and butter last year
Yeah.
when it came to regional activities. But then we repivoted and focused on hyper local tourism as well. So making sure that we're promoting shop local campaigns, but doing so in a very deliberate manner. So it was more than just, hey, shop local, you need to support these local businesses. We were saying, like, this is how you can support them. This is where you can find this product.
Yeah.
So we tried to fill a gap in that market where we were trying to connect local people to local resources that they might have driven somewhere else within Ontario to access.
Cool. It sounds like you were able to pivot fairly quickly, actually, and remain fairly flexible in your approach, which I'm sure has provided great benefit to the community because of that. Um, has there been has this changed the way that you do your business? Like, I guess where I want to go with this is, like, if you fast forward a number of years, are you going to be doing business differently because of COVID? Like, are there things that will never go back to normal because of how you've changed over the last year?
I think components have been really wonderful little highlights in what we've been doing will stay. So we're working on our visitor guide right now. We do that annually. Last year, we were able to print and distribute because it comes out in like February, March, April. So the timing was still okay there. But everything is virtual this year, and we're including community recommendations within those. So when I visit a community, if I'm going to go to New York City, I'm going to go to Yelp to find out where to eat. I'm probably not going to go to the tourism site in all cases, especially if you're a millennial or a Gen Xer, you're looking for those local recommendations. So what we're pushing out is those local recommendations. So hear from someone who is a tastemaker in Brantford where they really like to eat. Hear from someone who is a leader in cycling where the best trails are, where they can capture the best photographs. So that's what we're pushing out. We're partnering with locals on those, and we'll continue to do those. Um, Even before COVID, we were noticing that the stories that we wrote and the blogs that we were pushing out about community heroes and interesting background stories on featured artists and business owners, those were what the most popular content was. So we love being able to do that and taking the time to get to know these business owners and these local artists, because that's what people have wanted to read about based on the statistics that we've gone through.
Yeah, that's really exciting, and that makes a lot of sense to me. And I think just if anything, to be amplified now, right? There's even more of a need for that. So it's pretty awesome that you guys were ahead of the curve and you already had some processes in place for rolling that information out. So that's really that. It sounds like you were completely on the ball, like you were almost prepared for this.
We're a very small team, so it's very easy for us to pivot quickly.
Yeah.
I call us a very small but mighty team, and everyone is very collectively creative and adaptable. So it was nice. We actually finally got a full complement of a team in July. Up to that point, we were not fully staffed. So once we were able to have that full complement, we were able to really get all of our projects running the most smoothly we could.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how do things change with your team that you have in place? We've got this big move to the new city hall. What's that transition look like for you?
So our team will be split in half. So our full-time team will be moving to City Hall. We'll be on the third floor with the CAO and Mayor's office and the communications and community engagement department. And then our part-time visitor services team will actually be moving to the Gretzky Center. So we're actually building a desk right now for them to be at. So they'll be right at the front of the building providing visitor services there. So come August, we're hoping that the whole team is in their new homes. But prior to COVID, we were recently restructured. So we used to be part of the Community Development Commission. We were working under the planning department. So we now report directly to the office of the mayor and the CAO. And for tourism especially, this brings really great opportunities for us, including a better understanding of where we fit into the corporation and how we contribute. I'm looking forward to a better integration with community events and volunteers, communications. I call our department the good news department. So yes, there are problems, there's conflict, there's all sorts of messy stuff behind the scenes, but what we push out is always positive. So I see us playing a really key role in community building and positive identity and community pride in the future.
Yeah, and I think that message is more important now than ever. We need the good news department. That's a very important department these days. And it makes a lot of sense to me that you are under that corporate umbrella, because you do have a lot of touch points across the city, and I can see how that just opens up horizons and opens up all these different partnerships and puts you guys on a bit of a pedestal that you need to be in order to form those partnerships. So that makes a lot of sense to me. I can see why you'd move from under a commission up to the corporate department. It's good.
So I am still relatively newly employed at the city, but so far I've been immensely impressed with just the number of amazing strategic planners that I've met so far while working at the city. Albert Einstein, you've probably heard of him. He has this famous quote that says, if he had an hour to save the world, he'd spend the first 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about the solutions. And the point that he's trying to make here is very important, and that is that there's great value in preparation when it comes to effective problem solving. COVID has changed the way that the world thinks and the way that the world acts. But Sara and her team, they've been evolving for many years now. And so my light bulb moment for this episode is that good planners, they're able to change quickly because they've already prepared for various scenarios. And I would have thought that COVID would have decimated Tourism Brantford, that they would have really struggled over the last 18 months. But they've really demonstrated that they've been able to evolve and adapt and thrive under great pressure. So congratulations to the Tourism Brantford team. The next episode is we're going to bring Sara back again, and this time we're going to be talking about basically her career path and her personal leadership style. So you will not want to miss this. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.